Welcome to Shine Movement Space. This reformer at-home routine uses the Corefirst Level 1 bands and a Pilates ring. We'll start warming up our core, shoulders, and spine, and then move through some glute, inner thigh, and overall core exercises. Then we'll end with a nice stretch, lengthening through our hamstrings and hip flexors. Be sure to subscribe for a complimentary class coming soon. Find yourself a place to set up, and then let's get moving and shine together. All right, we are starting laying on our backs with the straps around our wrists, facing away from that anchor. Take a moment, get set up, and I'll meet you there. Okay, we are getting started. Let's check in with our position here. I want you to make sure that your pelvis is nice and grounded, heels are grounded, feet are pointed forward, legs are nice and parallel. Ring is above the chest, between our palms, and we just feel a slight tension on our arms as that Corefirst is kind of supporting them here. Now I want you to do something a little unconventional. And I want you to take that ring overhead, let it tap onto the floor, and let your rib cage peel off the mat in the back. It probably wants to do that. We're going to let it right now. Let it peel off, let your back arch, rib cage open. You may even feel your pelvis peel off the mat a little bit, and then I want you to exhale. Let your back find the floor. Ground yourself with your arms overhead like this. Peel off that back now. Let the ribcage arch. Stretch and extend that spine. It might feel good after a long day of work. And then exhale. Close that ribcage here in the front. Set your back onto the mat again. Let's do two more like that. Inhale, expand and arch. Exhale. Ground your pelvis, ground your ribcage. One more, inhale, expand, stretch, feel the space between your ribs, and then exhale. Let your rib cage find the mat in the back. Let your rib cage close in the center, and now bring that ring back over your chest here. From here, we're keeping our arms straight and shoulders reach towards the ceiling, and then they plug back into the mat. So my arms stay straight. I'm just lifting my shoulder blades off of the mat and then plugging them back in. Lift them off, reach your fingertips higher towards that ceiling. Exhale, plug the shoulder blades in. Lift them off, plug them in. Let's do two more. Exhale. And then plug them in, roll them down and back. Exhale. And then place them back on the mat. From here, we start to bring a little inward squeeze to that ring. It might not move, it might be an invisible squeeze, but I want you to start activating your arms inward. Abdominals draw towards your spine, rib cage stays closed. Give yourself a check. Feel your pelvis on the back of the mat. Feel that spine in neutral. Inhale, exhale. Keep that squeeze on the ring and start lifting one foot. Tap that knee to ring and center. Exhale. Abdominals are starting to scoop in and up. Little activation here, and really is so important to keep that energy inward on the ring. Here too, you're going to feel that core and powerhouse so much more, and also feel that in your arms as well, and shoulders. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. Just warming up here. Inward press. Let's do 4 more. 3 more. Feel those inner lower abs scoop in and up. And 1 more. Nice. From here, exhale, press that ring down and place it between your thighs here. Arms are coming to a goalpost position. Scoot your heels just slightly closer to your glutes. Inner press on that ring. We're going to peel our spine up one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, exhale, pelvis tucks under, and we peel up to a bridge here. Inhale at the top, exhale, lower down from the top of your spine to the bottom of your spine and pelvis. Inhale, exhale, rib cage closes, abdominal scoop in and up. We peel our spine up to a shoulder bridge. Inhale at the top, exhale, lower down one vertebrae at a time, top to bottom with control. 2 more like that. Inhale, exhale, lower abs really start to begin that movement, feeling the pieces of your spine raise one vertebrae at a time, and we exhale, lower down, making sure to maintain that squeeze on the ring. Inhale, one more, exhale, lower abs zip in and up. We peel the back of our spine and pelvis off into maybe a little bit higher of a shoulder bridge this time, and then exhale, set it down. Nice, good. From here, bring those arms straight up towards the ceiling. We're going to open them side, press them down, and bring them up. Little circle, side, press, and up. Let's not forget that inward squeeze on the ring here. And open. Good. As we press our arms to the side, we add a glute lift and open. So we're making a bridge, lifting now straight up with our hips. So we're no longer rolling up through our spine, just a lift straight towards the ceiling, like someone's pulling your hip bones towards the ceiling. Exhale, press. We're pressing into our heels, into that ring. Good, one more like that. And now reverse your arms. As your arms press down, your bum lifts, and we open up. Press down. I know, it's kind of a lot to do both things at the same time. Exhale, arms press down, hips lift. Open, lower with control. Exhale. And open. And open. Let's do 2 more. And open. 1 more. Press lips, lift hips up. Little squeezes on that ring. We go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 8 more for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Lower your hips down. Grab that ring with your hands. Place it between your palms here. You may want to walk your feet just a little bit more in line with your hips if they were a little separated from that ring. We exhale, we lift to a bridge. We lift 1 foot, tap the ring, and lower. So my hips are staying up. Now we're going to single leg glute bridge. From here, concentrate in. Once you get the move, take your gaze between that ring. Try not to shift your hips as 1 foot lifts and lowers. Trying to find that inner calm, inner steadiness here. Few more like that. Now you know why we did that warm up. On the next one, leave that knee up. We lower our hips, we lift our hips. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. Pressing down through that bottom foot, that bottom heel. Exhale. Exhale. 2 more. 1 more. Good. Switch sides. Try to keep those hips up if you can. If you need to take a break, take a break. We lower and lift on the other side. Hips lower slightly to a hover and lift. Tap that ring. And lift. And lower. And lift. Are your arms pressing inwards on that ring? Let's check in. Rib cage is closed. Pressing down through that standing heel. And lift. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Nice. Lower that foot with control. Lower your hips down. Nice work. Let your knees sway side to side. Good. And find an inward squeeze on that ring. Let those abdominals draw towards your spine. And then bring your legs up to tabletop. From here, that ring is going right between your thighs again, above your knee. Please don't place it directly on your knee joint here. Arms reach towards the ceiling. Heels are glued together. Feet are turned out. We press our arms down, squeeze that ring, and lift it up. Press and squeeze. And lift. Exhale. Making sure your back is grounded into the mat. Rib cage is closed in front. Exhale. Heels stay glued together. Now we add head, neck, and shoulder lift if you'd like. Exhale. Take a peek at those abdominals. Are they drawing in and up as you lift that head, neck, and shoulder? Exhale. I always think of engaging those abdominals before I start to move. 2 more. Last one, stay up. Little squeezes inward. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 8 more. Good. And we're done. Nice work. Lower down. Take that ring in your hands. Let your knees extend towards the ceiling. Rotate them parallel now. And then let that ring find a place in between your shins, kind of just above that ankle area. Legs stay nice and parallel. Now, really feeling that inward activation of our thighs. Bend your knees and then straighten them and press those arms down. Bend your knees and straighten. Bending and straightening. Slow, controlled movement here. Keeping those legs parallel. Try to keep those knees over the hips so the shape isn't drawn too close into us. Exhale. As arms press down, abdominals press down towards the spine as well. Good. Let's do 4 more. And 3, 2. Last one like that. We bend our knees, we stretch them long on a high diagonal and in. Same concept, we just find a high diagonal that's challenging our abdominals, but not letting us lose connection to our powerhouse, our core. I almost said powerhouse, I think. Exhale and inhale. And when you're ready, let's add that head, neck, and shoulder lift. Scooping those abdominals in and up, reaching long. Exhale. Find your rhythm. You can choose, if you'd like, to stay up now. Bend and stretch those legs. Three more. Two more. Scoop higher. One more. Good. Bend and lower down. Nice work here. Grab that ring. Let your legs come inside the ring now. Maintain that parallel and press outward on those pads here. So now we're pressing outwards with our legs. One arm is going behind my head, my elbows bending. Other arm is reaching towards the side. We exhale. We press the arm to the side and we bend to the side laterally. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So I'm trying to think of tipping side to side rather than up and over for that oblique crunch. I'm not going that way. I'm bending to the side. Exhale as my arm presses. Legs are pressing outward on that ring. Try to keep your bum on the mat. Exhale. So feeling it right here in that side body and obliques. Let's go for 4, for 3, 2, and last one. Let's switch it sides. Reach that opposite arm. We press and bend and center. So it's a little hover of the shoulders, but I'm not thinking of that up and over oblique crunch quite yet. Pressing outward on that ring. Activating those abductors. 2 more. And last one. Beautiful job. Shake your head no. If your neck has some tension there, grab that ring. Bring that ring between your hands. Last little abdominal section here. We're going to split our legs, reaching one leg down on the high diagonal, one leg towards the ring with 2 pulses. Looks like this, scissors. Exhale, 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 exhale. Switch, 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 switch. Press inwards on that ring, scooping in and up with the abdominals. Exhale, exhale. If you'd like, we're taking that head, neck, and shoulder lift. Here we go. We scoop it in and up. We stay. Tapping that ring. We have 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Lower down. We're doing the same thing, splitting our legs. This time the ring is going to the opposite side for an oblique curl. Here we go. We split for split, split. Little pulses. Find your rhythm. You got this. Let's go 4 more. Let's do 2 more. Why not? Last one. Beautiful. Nice work. Bend your knees. Let your feet find the floor. Sway your knees side to side. Beautiful job. Let's stretch out those legs just a little bit here. I would like you to take one foot. We're going to put that inside the ring. Press your heel towards the ceiling. We bend our knee. Stretch that heel towards the ceiling. Use the ring to help you. And lengthen that knee. Wherever you're at is where your body needs to be today. You can only just try and reach that heel a little bit closer towards the ceiling. Maybe reach that knee just a millimeter closer towards your chest. Work on where you are today. And now stay and hold. Extend the opposite leg long. Breathe here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. We're going to take that leg, we're going to rotate it towards the side, turning that leg out slightly. Rotate it open. Try to keep both shoulder blades on the mat still. So if you can't lower that leg without this shoulder peeling off and your body rotating, then you need to bring it up a little bit higher on the diagonal. Bend your knee. Straighten it out. Bend your knee. Straighten it out. And now let's breathe. Inhale. Exhale. You control the pull on that ring. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, trying to ground that opposite side of your body into the mat. Exhale. Nice. Bring your leg to center. Let the other hand grab the ring. The opposite arm falls towards the opposite side, and we stretch across our body. This can feel really intense for the outside of your leg. Breathe into it here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Bring that leg back to center. Let's switch our legs now. So opposite foot comes into that ring. We bend that bottom knee to start, and then bend that top leg and extend it towards the ceiling. Bend that top knee. Extend it long. Reaching your heel just a little closer towards the ceiling each time. Wherever you're at. And reach. Hold it there. Let's breathe. Inhale. Exhale. With each exhale, we find our leg falling just slightly closer to our body. We find our body melting further into the mat. You can extend that bottom leg long. From here, we open that leg towards the side, turning that foot out, keeping that opposite shoulder on the mat. Bend your knee and stretch it long. Exhale to bend. Inhale to stretch. Exhale to bend. Inhale to stretch. Hold it there. We breathe. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. We bring that leg back up to the center. Rotate it more parallel now. Grab the ring with our other hand. Opposite arm falls open. Stretch across your body here. This can be quite intense. Let's just breathe here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath. Inhale. And exhale. Nice work. Bring that leg back up to center. Bend your knee. Let that ring find the floor. Bend both knees now. I want you to lift your hips up to a little hover like a bridge. I want you to rotate your hips towards one side and then set down that hip closest to the floor. Let those knees fall towards the side. We're really stretching that hip flexor right here, opening up that hip joint, which works so hard bending and stretching for us today. Inhale and exhale. And let's do the other side. Let's rotate the hips back to the center. We lift them to hover. We twist them towards that other side and then set down that hip that's closest to the floor. Let that opposite knee start to reach long, finding a nice twist and opening through that hip flexor. Inhale and exhale. Nice work. I know that sometimes people like to skip the stretch portion and the cool down portion, but it's so important to elongate through those muscles that just got so much attention. And plus it just feels nice, especially after a long day of sitting, if that's what you've done. Rotate your hips back to center. One more time with those windshield wipers. Is that what I'm trying to think of? Yes. Oh, all right, let's take the Corefirst off of our wrists now. You can grab that ring if you'd like. Reach your legs a little further away from you. Inhale here. Let's do a roll up. Exhale. Stretching nice and long, reaching that spine up. And then let's come to a comfortable seated position. Inhale, big breath in for you. Scoop up all that good energy. Exhale. Let your hands find your heart. Inhale. Feel your heart beating. Feel your life within you. Exhale. Inhale. On the next exhale, let your hands float open. Let your shoulders roll up, down, and back. Shine that energy forward. Carry it with you through the rest of your day. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye. Sincere thanks to you, my friend, for being an important part of the beginning of this channel. Every view, thumbs up, subscribe, and encouraging comment increases connection and really does help this space to grow. Please consider following if you haven't already. I appreciate your support and I hope you'll join me again.